Okay. So last class we discussed what is how to create AWS instance and all, and how it will what are the basic necessary steps, and how to connect AWS instance. Just we see, right? Today we'll see that continuation. That is that. So last class we see, right? So if you want to create any AWS instance, first let me open my AWS instance, and how to create instance. So if you want to create instance, and we need some mandatory steps, right? So how to select those and all. And right now I am in Mumbai region. Region is nothing but physical location. Under region, under region, under region. So there is multiple availability zones available. So that zones and all we are going to select. We are going to select. Okay. Now, if you go here, click on EC2 instance, and if you click on instances and click on launch instance. Now this is already last class we discussed. So this is the image. What image you want? Amazon mission image AMI Amazon mission image. So like operating systems, which operating system you want to install? We want to create. So Amazon Linux or Ubuntu, Windows, Red Hat. So these and all based on the requirement, we can select. So based on the requirement, so we can select. So anyone, that is your wish. That is up to you. Whatever you want, so we can select it. Whatever you want, we can select it. One second. So now where is this? So this is if you go here. So these all right. So these are the AMI. Now this is the instance. What is this? Instance type. This is very very important. So interview, if anyone is asking which instance type, what is the instance type you are using? Don't tell T2 micro, T2 nano, T2 medium and all. Just remember only any one that is based on requirement. There is many, right? So at least C5, C7 large, that and all. Just remember, we need to update only that one. Don't tell this medium. This is only for practice purpose. But these are the keys. These are the keys. You can use this key pair to securely connect your instance. So if you want to connect instance for securely, so yesterday I created one key, right? So with the help of key, we are going to connect our instance. And coming to this part, today we are going to see network part, networking. So real time, this is very, very important. If you want to create any instance, so first we need to create, if you want to create any instance, first we need to create the network. Without network, are you able to configure instance and all in real time? Without network, we cannot connect instance also, right? So today we are going to see network. See here, these are the network settings. So here under the network settings, there is many things involved here. Today we are going to see that and all. So usually, if you want to create one instance, we need some mandatory. So as of now, you know few things, right? As of now, we know few things. Now we'll see that and all. Go to here, and so as of now, what we need if you want to create instance. Okay. So if you want to create a EC2 instance, so as of now, first one what we selected AMI, right? AMI, Amazon Machine Image. Without AMI, can you create instance? Is it possible? No, right? So AMI is the mandatory. Yes or no? Correct. So without AMI, we cannot create any instance. Next, instance type. Instance type. Already you know, right? What is the instance type? Second one is instance type. Instance type. Type means RAM, how much RAM you need. and what is hard disk we need. So that and all we are going to select here. This is a mostly RAM and processor. This is the CPU, central processing unit. Now, and also yesterday we created so one, right, which I created key, right, key. So as of now we know these things, and so if you want to if you want to full fledged, if you want to create any instance, we need networking also. We need network. So network means what type of IP address we need. So under network, so there is few more concepts involved here. VPN and sorry, not VPN, VPC. And next, what is this? Subnets, subnet. Next, internet gateway, IGW, internet gateway, and so route table, RT, route table, and security group. Security, right? Security group also we are attaching. But as of now, I selected default. Security, security group. Next, anything missing? Yesterday I selected, right? Storage. These are the mandatory storage. So clear, guys. If you want to create any instance, if you want to create instance, these are the mandatory. So, but yesterday I selected this and all default. Yesterday I selected this and all default only. I didn't create any our own. I didn't create any our own. So now I am going to create also how to set up this VPC and all. This is interview also. Most of the people they are asking what is VPC, what is subnet, what is difference between public subnet and private subnet, what is routing table. So very very important this part here. Okay. So now first we'll see so VPC, virtual private cloud. So generally AWS people they are providing so one network. So AWS people by default they are providing VPC. So what is VPC in AWS means? So usually, so AWS people they are providing so one network, that is the virtual private cloud. So virtual private, need that document. So what is this VPC? So they are creating. So this is a first try to understand. So this is very very important. So this is the very very important. Now, so see here, this is a region. Region means, right? This is the one physical location. Now, if you go here, just assume, so this is the one region. 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 Region is nothing but region and name. Okay. Physical location. Maybe we are selecting Mumbai, right? Now I'm in Mumbai or Hyderabad or US West, East and all. Region nothing but a physical location. So under this, so now there is a VPC. So there is a VPC. VPC means virtual private cloud. So this is created, this is provided by AWS people. You don't worry. So this is the VPC. So this is the VPC. So virtual private VPC. So this is the VPC. VPC. Virtual private cloud. So this is the one network provided by AWS people, guys. Don't confuse here. So this is the one network. This is the one network. AWS people are going to create. They, by default, they are providing one VPC. And under this, we are going to create some subnets. See here, subnet. Now here point is what is subnet? Subnet is nothing but IP range. What is subnet? Subnet is nothing but IP range. So there is two types of subnets again here, public subnet and private subnet. If you want to, we can create public subnet or we can create private subnet. So these are the subnets. So for example, if you go here, so these are the subnet. These are the subnets. These are the subnet. Whether it is public subnet or private subnet. So we can see later. So we can see later. This is the subnet. Maybe this is subnet 2, this is the subnet 1. We can create multiple subnets. That is your wish. So under this subnet, so yesterday I created one instance, right? So the actual our instance are running here only. Actual our instance is running here only. So this is the yesterday I created Linux instance. So inside subnet only our instance is running. Our instance is running. Inside subnet only our instance is running. I hope you got it right. Anyone any doubt, guys? Here, this is the hierarchy. This is the hierarchy. So this is the hierarchy. But yesterday blindly I selected. So this is the instance. EC2 instance. EC2. So this is the EC2 instance. Inside subnet only we are going to install EC2 instance. I hope you got it right. Clear. So this is the region. Under region where this is a VPC. VPC is nothing but virtual private cloud provided by AWS people. Now see here. So this is a VPC, virtual private cloud. This is the main network provided by AWS people. Suppose if you are not created any VPC and so already default VPC provided by AWS people, default VPC provided by AWS, if you want to, we can use that one. And but real time organized level mostly they have changed that VPC name and all. We are not see VP is the virtual network that closely resemble traditional network that you had operate in our own data centers. After you can create VPC, you can add your subnets. So what is subnet? Now we know right subnet. Subnet is nothing but IP range. So for example, yesterday you created one instance, right? So you instance have two IPs, right? What are that IPs? One IP is two IPs ఉంటాయి. What are that one?
Public, private,
Public IP, private IP. You know, right?
private.
So did I add that manually? No, right? By default, public IP and private IP also available. And based on our requirement, so we are going to disable one IP or which one you want to mandatory. But real time 100%. So mostly we are using private IP only. Whenever our use private public, mostly we are using private IP and also we are using real time mostly we are using only private IP. Public IP and all mostly won't use private IP and with the help of private only we are accessing. Now, so this is a private IP. And IP means so they are giving some IP range, right? For example, yesterday I created one instance. What is that? Just enable that one. I am going to start. And so how to start, we'll see there is two type of IP address and IP range already they given. So this is we created, right? So start instance, start instance. Start means just I on the mission. So yesterday I stopped, right? Now it is started. So if we click on this instance, now see here, it is giving, this is the AWS people provided IP range 172. They are using IP4 and by default they are giving so this is the AWS people they are following this is the IP4 and they are following IP range this one and also same you will get one IP range public also. So what is that public IP range and all we can see here. This is the public IP address. This is the public IP address. This is the public and organized level they are change this IP address and all. They are not maintaining this IPs and all. And this is the public IP and this is the private IP. AWS people they are following this IP. Okay, this region, particular region and all. Now, if you go here, now VPC is the virtual private cloud, and this is the provided by AWS people. This is the default network. And if you want to, we can create our own network and we can go into add. Now, what is subnet? Subnet means now this is IP range, right? Now I'm going to create one instance. I don't want this IP real time in organization level. So they are not following this IP. Each organization they are following different IP. For example, I need this IP address. I need this IP address 10 dot so 1 dot 0 dot 0 1 dot whatever you want. This I need this IP. I need this IP. So if you want, I need while creating the VPC, we are going to give so this IP range only. This IP range only. But this is a default IP provided by AWS people. Provided by AWS people. I don't want this IP. I don't want to continue this IP. If you want to continue, we are going to give our own IP. This is one. Now see here, subnet is nothing but a range of IP address in your VPC. Only one line answer enough. So enter also if you, what is subnet? Subnet is a range of IP addresses in our VPC. I created one VPC. In the VPC, what is the IP range you want to provide your instances? So if you want to create, so we are going to use that way. Now there is a routing table. So just what is what, just learn. Later we'll see. Use the route table. What is route table? Route table is nothing but to determine where network traffic from your subnet or gateway is directed. Now here one more concept. So there is a gateway also is there. Internet gateway. Here we can see, right? Internet gateway. So there is a gateway also available here. This is the internet gateway. So now IGW. Simply we are calling IGW, Internet Gateway. IGW. So IGW, Internet Gateway, and also this is the Internet Gateway, and there is a we are maintaining one more is also RT, route table. So here we are maintaining route table also. Now see, observe here. Here we are using a route table also. This is a route table, or anywhere we can use. Here I am using one route table. For this I am using one route table. So if you want to come network and all, how it will come means, so first internet come to IT, internet gateway, from internet gateway to route table to particular subnet. Now that and all here we can see. Now see here, what is routing means, route table is determined where network traffic from your subnets. So this is my subnet, right? This is my subnet. ఈ సబ్నెట్ కి ఇంటర్నెట్ ట్రాఫిక్ ఎలా వస్తున్నది, హౌ వీఆర్ కనెక్టింగ్, సో దట్ అండ్ ఆల్ హ్యాండిల్ బై సో రౌట్ టేబుల్. వాట్ ఈస్ ఇంటర్నెట్ గేట్వే? దట్ ఈస్ గేట్వే అండ్ ఎండ్ పాయింట్. సో గేట్వే కనెక్టెడ్ టు ద విపిసి టు అనదర్ నెట్వర్క్. సో దట్ కేస్ మోస్ట్లీ వీఆర్ యూజింగ్ ఇంటర్నెట్ గేట్వే. Mostly we are using internet gateway. Just remember only these 4 points we are going to discuss. Later we'll see how it will handle. So now this is a VPC. VPC is nothing but this is the main network provided by AWS people. And so within the VPC, we are going to create some multiple subnets. What is subnet is nothing but a range of IP address in our VPC. And so subnet must reside single availability zone. Single availability zone. So within the subnet must inside the single availability zone. After you add subnet, you can deploy AWS resource in our VPC. AWS VPC under VPC. Now, so if you want to create, so we need to follow some range also. So usually AWS people they are following. I hope you people are already aware. Mm. How this means IP addresses. First try to understand IP address. So for example, if you want to give so IP address, we need to give, right? So there is class A, class B, class C types of IP address. If you first types of network, if you have any idea, we can easily understand. Type A, types of IP addresses, types of IP address. Okay. So now there is 4 types of IP address. What is that? Class A, class B. Go to here. Public IP, private IP. So generally there is a 4 types of class A, class B. First we'll check that one. We are following, or else I will come to here. Already we have some document. In the document everything available, we can see. Now AWS VPC. So now VPC is nothing but virtual private cloud. So under this, what is VPC? VPC is the end user IP address space. It is following 16. It is following 16 subnets. Subnet is nothing but defined subnet up to 16. What is route table? Define how traffic should be routed from your each subnet. And what is internet gateway? This is the logical device enable traffic to be routed to from the public internet. That is NAT and all we'll see later. Now, so if you go here I don't have the address. Yes, so before that, there is actually we are following four types, right? Class A, Class B, Class C. Anyone, any idea? Class A, Class A, Class B. I thought Class B. So Class C, Class A, Class B types of IP addresses. So now this is the IP address. Actually, IP address classes. We need to search IP address classes. So mostly we are following. So this is the default one. Basic question. These are the default one fixed. Network mostly it will come. So class A means so mostly class A means we are giving so range 1 to 26 126 126. So any host for network. There is class B. It will starts with 128 to 191 and class C means 192 to 192 to 223 and class D means 224 to 239. So this is a multicasting. Now, so if you go here, my system has one IP address. So first check it. What is this IP address? Class A, Class B, Class C. So how to check IP address? IP config. If you see here, so now my IP address starts with 192.168.189.1. So now how I know this is Class A, this is Class B, this is Class C, or this is Class D? So first we need to learn this one. This is some basic only. This is a fixed IP range. This is a fixed IP range. Now based on this, now we can here we can understand. See here, what are the class A? Now how I know class C my IP address? My IP starts with from where here. Try to understand here. Just I don't want to explain entire network concept. Just I want to see what type of IP address right now my machine is having. See here, 192. So now this is class A or class B or class C?
Class C.
Class C. So how we know? If we know these types, we can easily understand. So actually class A means we are following IP range 1 to 126. And class B means it will start with 128 to 199, 191. And class C means it will start with 192 to 223. So many networks with fewer hosts per network. And this is the class D. And based on this, so IP range will come. We are going to assign in industry also following same strategy, which IP they want, whether they want class A IP or whether they want class B IP or whether they want class C IP. But anyway, here we are following some class A. That is your wish case. Whatever you want, we can follow. But mostly local machines, Windows operating systems, we are following class C only. It will start, if you want to check, we can check your machine also. Your machine also starts from 192 only. 192 only. Now, so here we are given something, right? Now, okay. Now here, this is the four types, right? Here we are giving some 128, 11 and all. Now here also they divided two parts. So anyone, any idea what is the two parts? This is a class A. Now see here. First one is network ID. Second one is host ID. First one is network ID. Second one is host ID. If you come to class B, first two is network ID. Next two is host ID. If you come to class C, first three is network ID. Next last one is host ID. These are the reserved. Actually, this is the constant only fixed. We need to learn some basics if you want to understand more on this. So now I am giving one IP address. Now here I given one IP address, right? Now this is the class A or this is the class B or class C. Anyone? First public IP. Here AWS people they are providing one IP, right? Public IP. So anyone guess it? This is under which type? Which type? Class A, class B, class C. Here, class A means 1 to 126, right? Yes or no? Here,
Class A.
class A. Now here class A, which is the host ID, which is the network ID. First, class A means only first is the host network ID. Remaining all are host ID only. This is the first class A. If we are using class A, actually this is a 4 bytes. 4 bytes means we are giving one IP range, right? For example, here they give one, I passed one IP. This is the 4 bytes, right? So this is, for example, I given 10 dot, so 0 dot 0 dot 0 or 10 dot 1 10 dot anything that is your wish 20 dot 1 dot I given 1. So now this is a 4 bytes, right? Suppose if it is class A, if it is class A, if it is class A, what is the network ID? What is the host ID? The first, if class ID means this is the network ID and remaining 3 bytes is the host ID. You got it? Based on this diagram, see, this is one byte, second byte, third bit 4. If you are using class A, first is the network ID, remaining 3 bytes is the host ID. If you are using class B, first 2 is the network ID, next 2 is the host ID. If you are using class C, first 3 bytes is the network ID, next last is the host ID. Apart from this, don't remember more. Clear? అర్థమైంది శ్రీనాథ్ గారు. So total
Yes.
4 bytes.
Clear.
4 bytes.
Yeah.
If you are using class A, that is first byte is the network ID, remaining host ID. Suppose if you are using class B, first 2 is the network ID, next 2 is the host ID. If you are using class C, so this is the network ID, this is the host ID. That's it. And so remaining some concept same only. This is the 8 bits long, and how we are calculating and all we can see. Now see here 2 power 24 minus 2, that is how many hosts and all. This is the network calculate. See here network ID and host ID. Network ID and host ID. Network ID and host ID. So if you are using class A IP address belongs to the class A or assigned to network. So the network ID is 8 bits long and the host ID is 24 bit long. The based on this, this is the 8 bit long, this is the 24 bit long. Now same way, and how many host missions we can configure? Anyone, any idea? So there is one formula is there. There is one formula 2 power n. Okay, we are following so 2 power. So we are following 2 power n 24 minus. How I know sir this one and all. So total how many bytes? So this is the class A, right? Class A means 8 bit, 8 bit, 8 bit, 8 bit. Okay. Now there is one total 32 bits. Now I'm giving class A means network ID 8, right? 20 32 minus I am writing here. So total so 32 bits. Total how many bits? 32 bits, right? Now if you are using so class A total ఇదంతా network related. If you understand, okay, not you will it. Okay. Now network ID. If class A means network ID. Class A means network ID. N bits, 8 bits. Now total 32 minus 8. How many? Enta? How much?
24.
22. Now, how many IPs we can configure? Suppose if you are using class A, how many host machines we can configure? దానికి ఒక ఫార్ములా ఉంది. సో 2 పవర్ n minus 1. So that is means now calculate 2 power 22 minus 1. This is the formula. All same they given. So 2 power 24. The 2 is reserved minus 2. So this many host machines we can
22.
configure. అర్థమైందా? Suppose if you are using class B, now tell me what is the formula here? 2 power. Class B means network ID. What is the network ID? Class B. 16, right?
Yes, sir.
Next 32 minus 16. 2 power
16.
16, 2 power 16 minus 2, that many host machine. Now we can see here. Class B means, see, 2 power 16 minus 2, this many hosts we can configure. This is the one formula actually. We need to digest. For example, if I use class C means, what is the network ID? 24 bit, right? ఇది గుర్తుపెట్టుకోండి ఇది. సో నెట్వర్క్ ఐడి మొత్తం ఇక్కడ ఎన్ని ఉన్నాయి? ఇక్కడ సింగిల్ బైట్. ఇక్కడ వచ్చి క్లాస్ బికి 2 బైట్స్, క్లాస్ త్రీకి వచ్చి 3 బైట్స్. 3 అంటే 8 3 సార్ 24. టోటల్ వచ్చి 32. 32 మైనస్ 24. 32 మైనస్ 24. 8, right?
8, sir.
8. Next, 2 power 8 minus 2, class B, class C, right? See here, 2 power 8 minus 2. How many hosts we can configure? అంటే ఎన్ని మిషన్లు నువ్వు కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయొచ్చు? నేను క్లాస్ సి వాడితే ఓన్లీ 254 హోస్ట్ అడ్రస్లే మీరు కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయొచ్చు. సపోజ్ ఇఫ్ ఐ యూజ్ క్లాస్ డి, సి హియర్ క్లాస్ డి, హౌ ఇట్ విల్ వర్క్. సో ఓన్లీ how many host machines we can configure. This is just try to understand. This is formula is simple only, but so we need to understand. Before that we need to understand this one. If you understand, okay. If not understand, also leave it. Anyway, coming classes also we can see. So this is the formula based on this. So total 8 bytes. Sorry, 8 plus 8 plus 8 plus 8, 32 bytes. See here, this is the one. We are using 10.0.0.0, right? First is the network ID. If you are using class A, suppose if you are using class B, 16 is the network ID. If you are using class C, 24 is the class network ID. Remaining only one is host ID. How many hosts we can configure and all, that and all. But this and all mostly we won't use. One is multicasting purpose, then one is reserved. Mostly if you see somewhere, we can see IP range within these 2 or 3 only. Within these 3 only. Okay. Now we are help now. So now this is the VPC. VPC is nothing but this is a virtual private cloud, and here we are following one IP range. But AWS people, they are support 16 onwards only. They won't support class A. అర్థమైందా? Now AWS people, they are supporting only 16 onwards. They won't support 8 bit. Now if you go here, it will come like this only. 16. It will come like 16 only. So for example, here I have given so 10.0.0/16. Now got it. So AWS, this is the 1 byte, this is 1 byte, this is 8 plus 8 plus, this is total. They are supporting 16 onwards only. They won't support 8 and all. They won't support 8 and all. Okay, they won't support 8 and all. But AWS people, they are following 16 onwards only. But to come to here, everything already I noted. I will share this if you want, we can understand. Okay. Now, so this already here we are giving something. So IP range black. So AWS people mostly they are following only this one. And here also we can understand somewhere they noted, right? How AWS is it. If you click on this, now here we can see. Now everything they mention how these people are following. These people are following region subnet. And see here, this is the 10.0.0. network address. And this is there is 5 IP address they reserved. 4 or 5. See 0 also reserved, 1 also reserved, 2 also reserved, and also 3 also reserved for reserved by AWS for future use. And 10.0.0.255 also reserved. So total how many reserved here? How many IPs they reserved? AWS people. This IP we won't use. This is used by AWS people. This is also used by AWS people. This is also used by AWS. See, reserved for AWS for future use. And 10.0.0.225. This is also for network broadcast purpose. They reserved. We do not support a broadcast in the VPC. So then this is reserved for IP address. So total 5 address reserved AWS people. We can't use this one, and this is reserved for only AWS people. Okay. So this is some basic. So how many means 10 also reserved for network address. and one is for reserved for AWS for VPC router, and two is for reserved for AWS the IP of the DNS purpose, and three is reserved for AWS for future use, and 255 reserved for broadcast. Now these are the reserved. These are the reserved. Okay. Now this is some basic only. Now see here subnet. Now how it will work means IP range, and so the IP of your subnet so representing the using the classes inter domain CRDR CIDR. What is this? Classless inter domain routing. This is the IP address range. We are going to provide IP address range, and how it will work we'll see. So now see here the CACR block of subnet can be same as the CAD block for the VPC. And so we are going to give multiple subnets in the single VPC. If you want to, we can create multiple subnets. That is, we can create multiple subnets, single VPC. Now, this is the range. Now, I'm going to create simply one subnet, one VPC, and all. How it will work. Now, see here, we can give anything. So, but so VPC range, these people they are providing up to so 16 only. And if you want to create any subnets and all, we are giving next range. We are giving so next range and all. Whatever you want, we can follow. Now, so here I'm going to give IP range. Here I'm going to give IP range. What is the IP range I am following? What that is your wish, guys. Whatever you want, we can follow. 10 dot. Here I'm using 10 dot same. Here I'm following same, right? 10 dot 1 dot 1 dot 0 dot 0 slash 16. AWS people provide support only 16. And this is the subnet. Subnet is nothing but IP range, right? I'm going to this subnet range. So this one, anything 10 dot and so 1 dot 1 dot 0 slash I'm giving 24. Now if I give 24 means how many host missions I can configure? Anyone guess it? I given one formula, right? 2 power n minus 2. Now how many host missions I can configure? This is the IP range. Just assume this is the IP range I am giving, and with the help of this IP range, how many host missions I can configure in the subnets? Anyone? ఇప్పుడు దీంట్లో నేను ఎన్ని హోస్ట్ క్రియేట్ చేయొచ్చు ఈ రేంజ్
22, sir.
2 పవర్
22.
ఓన్లీ 22 నా now if you want to we can use so IP calculator also we can use IP calculator. Now if you use means so we can check so IP using AWS calculator. Here also we can pass it or else we can calculate manually also. Where is calculator? IP calculator. No. See here, if you use so 24 means so how many we can configure, how many host? అర్థమైందా hello, can you hear me? It's tracking.
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Why my screen is not moving? Nothing is working. Okay, so now see here, so if you use 16 so we can configure this many host missions. Suppose if you give 17 we can configure this many host is nothing but what is this OS operating system, sir. Suppose if we give 18 so now I given 24, right? So 24 means so we can configure this many host. Now calculator 2 power, so how I can calculate total 32 bit. Now already 24 we given, 32 minus 24 8, right? 2 power 8 minus 2, now calculate it, how many it will come? 2 power 8 minus 2. So that is the formula. So that is the formula, and based on this it will work. Generally IP calculator is there. IP calculator. So even if you give IP calculator, it will come like this. Okay. So now here we can understand. See here, I am giving IP range and 24. So if you give clean means now how many see here 254 IP address. So we can configure. Now I am giving here So now see 24, right? Suppose if I give anything, we can give that one. For example, if I give 16, if I give 16, now calculate it. So how many machines we can configure? See here host 65,530 65,534. And this is the private subnets and the some reserve we can give some calculators. So based on this, if we give 16, right? So now 34, right? That 3 is reserved. That and all it is giving total count, but here giving only AWS related calculator. This is AWS. 3 IP address they reserved. And suppose if I give 24, now how many machines we can configure? See here 24. 24. Just calculate it. Now see here only we can configure to 54. Now if you come to here 3 reserve, right? Remaining we can configure 251 host. That's it. So now in this range, now here I given one range, right? Now in this range, in this subnet, now how many host machines we can configure? Now tell me. ఇప్పుడు నేను ఎన్ని కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయొచ్చు ఇక్కడ ఎన్ని కాన్ఫిగర్ చేయొచ్చు టూ how many host I can configure
51.
ఎన్ని మిషన్ కాన్ఫిగర్ చేసాను ఇక్కడ 254 2 is reserved 251 machines we can configure. So this is the count. This many host we can configure. This many host. This is the understanding. If we give this IP range, how many machines we can configure in the subnet. So in this mission I given here also we can configure. Here also we can configure 254 missions. So 3 is reserved total. 251 missions we can configure. That's it. Clear? Now same thing I am going to set up. Same thing I am going to set up. Now before that, so come to here. Now, first I need to create one VPC. So what is VPC? Virtual Private Cloud. What is happening? Okay. Now if you go here, so if you search here VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. If you click on VPC, so isolated cloud. One second, I'm refreshing. The screen will gone or not. Nothing is happening. Okay. Now come to VPC. Now see here, I'm going to create one VPC. Why the screen is not moving? Better, let me continue on. Now here right side corner there is create button is there. I want to see that button. What happens? Can you hold 2 minutes? I will close and reconnect. It will gone. Okay? Okay. Now can you see my screen?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now see here AWS console. Now that gone. Now I'm going to create one VPC. So most of the people they are asking, so what is VPC and all? VPC is nothing but virtual private cloud, and this is the main network provided by AWS people. Provided by AWS people, and so now just search. This is the global search, right? Just search VPC. That's it. Now see here isolated cloud resources. If we click on this, and so now left side we can see your VPCs, subnets, route table, internet gateway and all. Click on your VPCs. So right now I have only two VPCs. Just that is right side top corner. We can see create VPC. Now, so now this is the VPC settings. See here VPC is an isolated portion of an AWS cloud populated by AWS objects such as Amazon EC2 instance and all. And these are the VPC settings. So create only VPC resources or VPC and other network resources also. So there is two options available here, only VPC or other resources also. For the time being, I am selecting only VPC and this is a tag name, VPC name. For example, DevApps underscore DevApps hyphen VPC. I am giving also DevApps hyphen VPC. Now see here and CA serial black. CA serial black means IP range, guys. Which IP range you want to give? Which IP range you want to give? See here whether you want to IP4 and classless enter domain, that is, and our IP6 this is. So now anyway default I am selecting and which IP range you want. Now tell me which IP range you want. Now we can give anything whatever you want. Now I am giving 10.1.0.0.0/16. I am following 16. So 16 means how many post, how many that and all allow. Just try it. We can check it. Okay. Now already I will share this document. Follow same thing. Whatever VPC range I am giving same only. And so subnets and all I am giving different range. Now, so now see here. This is enough. And the tenancy I don't want. I am selecting default only. And tag name if you want to, we can give tag name and all. Just create VPC. That's it. So only here we have to remember. Only we have to remember what is the VPC name and what is the VPC CA black range. I am giving 16. That's it. Now create VPC. VPC is created. Now, once VPC is created, now we can see in our list also. Now see here, DevOps VPC. Now if you select, if you want to modify something, we can modify here also. Edit settings and all, whatever you want, we can modify. And there is one option is that first you need to enable this, enable DNS host names. Why you need to enable means, so you know, right, host name means, the DNS name means it will come fully domain name, right? So just enable this one and so remaining and all no need. Remaining and all no need. Now VPC is created. Now there is subnet. Subnet means IP range. I am giving same IP. I am giving this IP and how to create. So click on subnet and click on create subnet. Create subnet. See here, this is the VPC ID. So subnet we are creating under VPC or outside the VPC. Here I created two subnets, right? These two
Under
subnets available under the VPC or outside the VPC? Under the VPC, correct? Now this is my VPC name. I given some name. I need to select that VPC. See here, if we click on this, here we can select all VPC list and all. See, create subnet in this VPC. If you want to create any subnet, so before creating subnet, please select so VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. So what is my VPC name? DevOps VPC. Now see here, this is a CA black and this is a subnet. Subnet is nothing but see specify the CA blocks and availability zones in the format. Now this is the subnet name. We can give any subnet name. DevOps. So DevOps hyphen. I am giving also subnet one or public subnet one. I am giving public subnet one. Public subnet one. We can give any name, guys. That is your wish. Now already I told right availability zone. Choose the zone which your subnet will be reside. Now understand, right? So we have a region, under region availability zones. Now I am in Mumbai region, right? Mumbai region. So how many availability zones available? Three zones available, guys. See here, this is the AP South 1A and AP South 1B and AP South 1C. Now got it? So region, under region availability zones available. So this is the region. Right now I am in Mumbai region. In Mumbai region, how many availability zones available? Three availability zones available. So you can select anyone where you want. Where you want. So whether you want 1A or 1B or 1C. అర్థమవుతుందా అర్థం కాలేదా ఆల్రెడీ ఫస్ట్ క్లాస్ లో డిస్కస్ చేసినాం రీజియన్ ఈజ్ నథింగ్ బట్ ఫిజికల్ లొకేషన్ అండర్ ఫిజికల్ లొకేషన్ దే ఆర్ మెయినింగ్ త్రీ డేటా సెంటర్స్ త్రీ అవైలబిలిటీ జోన్స్ సో వీ కెన్ సెలెక్ట్ ఎనీ వన్ వేర్ యూ వాంట్ టు క్రియేట్ యువర్ ఇన్ఫ్రాస్ట్రక్చర్ క్లియర్ now see here I
yes,
am
sir.
selecting 1A. Now see here. Now what is the black? So which range you want to give? Which range you want to give? This is the VPC. Now subnet. Now tell me what range you want. Already I given 16, right? Now 10 dot. Now 10 dot. 1 dot. Whatever range you want. If you have doubt, so here I given so 10 dot 1 dot 16 I given and I need to give 24. 24 means this is a class C, right? This is a network ID. This is a host ID. Got it? Same. Whatever you want, we can mention here. 10 dot 1 dot 0 dot 0 slash 24. Now, how many host missions we can configure here? 24. See here, this many host IPs
Mm.
256. For example, I given 25. Now try to understand. We can configure only 128 IPs only. Suppose if we give 30, how many IPs we can configure? 30, 4 IPs only. Automatically it is calculating, automatically displaying here also. అర్థమవుతుందా? మనం ఏం చేయడం అవసరం లేదు. ఇక్కడ కూడా చూసుకోవచ్చు మనం. ఆర్ ఎల్స్ ఇఫ్ వి గో క్యాలిక్యులేటర్ ఆల్సో విల్ కమ్ సేమ్ ఐపీస్. అంటే మీరు ఇన్ని ఐపీలు మాత్రమే ఇవ్వచ్చు. ఈ రేంజ్ ఇస్తే ఓన్లీ 4 ఐపీస్ 4 ఇన్స్టెన్స్ క్రియేట్ చేయొచ్చు అండర్ దిస్ సబ్నెట్. ఐ హోప్ యూ గాట్ ఇట్ రైట్. క్లియర్? శ్రీనాథ్ గారు
Yes,
క్లియర్?
sir.
Now I'm giving
Yeah, clear.
24. 24 means we can give only 256. Suppose if we give 20 means we are configure 4096 IPs. Now I'm giving 24. Okay, that's enough. More. Okay, remaining and all optional. If you want to tag and all add it, that's it. Now create. What happens? You sign it off account. Someone is resigned it. Reload. మీరేం లాగిన్ అయినారా?
లేదండి.
లేదా like that. So okay, so next class I will complete all these things, but anyway I'm missed something, right? Next class we'll create VPC, subnet, internet gateway, routing table, security group, everything I can create, and I will going to create one new instance, so we can easily understand. Anyway, it will now today time is not sufficient to create all these things. Next class I will continue. Okay, clear guys?